thank you for the introduction. I'm Esmee. I'm from the University of Twente, so I work together with Louise, for example, but also other colleagues of ours are here. And we are just one part of the PROCEDIN project, and then next to me is Valentina.
Valentina Schippers-Opejko. I already introduced myself earlier in the morning session, and very happy to be here today with you, and I hope you will enjoy this presentation.
Yes, and to make it hopefully a bit easier and more interactive for all of you, we decided to ask each other some questions to get to what is PROCEDIN actually, and how does PROCEDIN contribute to capacity building. So maybe my first question to Valentina would be, who are all of our partners and what's our main goal?
Yes, thank you so much, Esmee. PROCEDIN is a EU-funded project, and our partners is University of Twente. Just raise your hand. University of Twente, yes, you too. Pedal Consulting, yes, very good. And then F6S, yeah. City of Harlem, yes, and City of Gabrovo in Bulgaria. Thank you very much. Goal of PROCEDIN is to connect key resources together with key stakeholders.
And for who?
Yes, and we have three main groups of stakeholders. The first one are public authorities, buyers. Second one are market parties, small and medium enterprises, startups, large companies, and of course, educators like universities, institutes, and so on. And dear Esmee, could you just share with us information about what is the one key takeaway of PROCEDIN?
I think our key takeaway of PROCEDIN actually very much relates to the morning sessions that we already had, that talked about innovation not solely for the purpose of just doing innovation, but also linking it to other goals. So our phrase that we use also in multiple reports and other things, that outputs that we have that we will show later, we say innovation is a means to an end. It's not necessarily the end itself. So innovation can relate to sustainability goals. It can relate to other strategic goals that, for example, municipalities have. And based on these strategic or collaborative or policy objectives that they want to reach, they do innovation. So depending on how they do innovation, it actually changes the way what capacities they need. So the capacity is not just for innovation, but the capacity for doing innovation lies also within sustainability, and lies within doing strategic procurement, so to say.
And how does PROCEDIN contribute to those needs?
Yeah, so what we saw is that we have different starting points when doing procurement of innovation. So as we just said, it might be from a strategic perspective, it might be from the perspective of actually wanting to do a more innovative procedure. So we differentiated between the different types of ways why people get started with procurement of innovation. And then we tried to see, okay, for all of these different routes towards doing procurement of innovation, how can PROCEDIN contribute to that? So we have 4 different routes that you can see on the presentation as well. So the first one, which maybe was the thing that we first thought of most, would be the legal perspective of, I want to do a PPI or I want to do a pre-commercial procurement, and how would I then actually do that? For those that want to start with that starting point, we have a lot of training videos on how to get started with these initiatives, but we also have frameworks of that also explain this.
And how about collaborative perspective?
Yeah, so collaborative the perspective is, I think that's what Minouche mentioned this morning. She said, well, we usually start from collaboration, and then afterwards procurement is the thing that helps us. So it's again the means to an end and not necessarily the end in itself. So we try to do some matchmaking between different stakeholders. We built a proceeding community. We did webinars specifically for SMEs to get them interested in working together with the government. We have a big stakeholder map on our proceeding website where you can find different stakeholders to collaborate with.
So
other
I was
workshops that we did.
Yes, and I was wondering, the Urban Agenda Partnership on Innovative and Responsible Public Procurement, could you stand up, those who are connected to this Urban Agenda Partnership? Yes, Justin, you may stand up. Okay, big applause for them. Okay, so, and then Tenderio. Tenderio? No Tenderio?
Over there.
Over there, Tenderio, very good. And Espera?
Those are the educators in here. So
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, but you mentioned also strategic perspective. Was wondering what kind of results on outputs of proceeding could contribute to that perspective.
So one of the main things that you can find on our proceeding website is our resource bank, and we have a resource bank both for suppliers and for buyers. And there are a lot of case studies of different public contracting authorities or of different suppliers that already did something with procurement of innovation. Some examples are on the screen. So municipalities who did zero emission vehicles, or refurbished furniture, or did something with food waste. All of these different case study examples, we collected all of them and put them in one resource bank that you can find on the on our website.
And also in your tote bags, you will find a brochure on proceeding, and you can find more information on the website.
Exactly.
Proceeding.eu. Okay, and the innovative perspective.
Yeah, so this is the last perspective. So one example that we had when we did our interviews was a person who was really interested in innovation and was working a lot with suppliers who were interested in innovation. And they don't necessarily, again, want to do procurement, but they're wanted to do innovation, and procurement was the way for them to do innovation. So they were searching for ways of how to connect with the government or with other public contracting authorities to do this, or the other way around. So we saw that as a need that was not necessarily something we anticipated when we started our proceeding project, but something that we did after was we did 3 webinars already, specifically for SMEs, to introduce them to what does it mean to collaborate with a public contracting authority. So yeah, business to government introduction, so to say. And we have now had 3 webinars we had already, but the 4th one, if anyone's interested, is on 26th of June, so it's still going.
Save your date.
Yes. Yeah, so all of this combined is what Louise said this morning, is we're trying to build an ecosystem where we can connect different stakeholders together. We have SMEs, we have public contracting authorities, we have our educators, and to teach them through different and connect them mostly, and to teach them how to do procurement of innovation, and not necessarily only for the purpose of doing procurement of innovation, but to also use it for as a means to an end, so to say.
Yeah, so I was also wondering how many of you think innovation is very important. Just raise your hand. Okay. You are in.
I think to end this, we have one last question I would like to ask Valentina, and that's about what does the future hold? What is something that we need to take into account?
Very important is that innovation procurement should become routinized. It means become business as usual, not something rare, not something special or very scaring something. And also important to integrate with other strategic objectives. Could be sustainability, could be social perspective, and so on. So this is what I think is future on hold.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.